President Trump seemingly threatened to intervene in Iran if they shoot or violently kill peaceful protesters who are outraged by the country's ailing economy. The Truth Social post recently, Trump wrote, "If Iran shoots and violently kills peaceful protesters, which is their custom, the United States of America will come to their rescue. We are locked and loaded and ready to go."
Now, senior Iranian officials fired back, warning that U.S. intervention would spark regional chaos. Iranian parliament speaker said that Trump's threats makes, quote, all American bases and forces across the region legitimate targets in response to any possible adventurism.
Protests in the Islamic Republic have seemingly taken a violent turn, as at least 8 people have reportedly been killed so far. The protests erupted Sunday in the capital, Tehran, with crowds largely chanting about economic grievances after the country's currency hit a record low against the dollar.
Now, Tehran is still facing economic crisis after a 12-day war launched by Israel in June. Adding to the pressure, the United Nations in September reimposed sanctions on Iran over its atomic program. So the country is facing economic collapse and having some drama. I was trying to read about how the protests grew to what they are now, and I think the last straw for a lot of people and business owners was that their gas is subsidized, and then the country leaders just decided we're just going to start raising those prices to try to build revenue for only themselves. And so people are rightfully mad. But I think when you have a 12-day war that we joined forces with Israel in, and when you see what just happened in Venezuela, there's concern from Americans that say, okay, if they say they're going to target our bases, even if they don't successfully target our bases and just at least try to, any type of bomb or anything goes off, we now are in a conflict with Iran. Yes, like we have to do something about it. We can't just not respond. We can't just allow them to do whatever they want. And so people are really trying to figure out what's the plan here now that we've already continued to agitate over there and made it a point to join the side of Israel in this battle. Now we're ultimately part of, and they said they were at war with us, I think like a week ago. They said that they feel that they're in a war with us, even though we might not take that claim seriously. That's where the country feels they are with the
They
US.
can't do, right. They can harass our bases, our soldiers. They can't do anything to the homeland. Look, I've all sympathy, of course, to the protesters there. They are right. They are justified. I hope they succeed someday in toppling their authoritarian Islamic extremist government. The justification for Venezuela that's being presented by the administration is that Venezuela is culturally more like, it's part of the Americas. It is socially, culturally, religiously not so far afield as the Middle East. Like they're contrasting it, saying we can do this. Venezuela won't be like Iraq because it's a different place. Won't be like Afghanistan. Okay, but you can't make that argument for Iran. So what are we doing here? I would urge Trump saying, we're going to attack them too? We're going to be at war with everyone? Now what about no new wars? What about America first? Again, if it's a limited one-time thing for just Venezuela, because this is, okay, maybe you can sell me on that. I'm not sure I'm totally convinced. Maybe you can sell me on that. You can't sell me on us coming in and doing regime change in Iran. That's a neocon fantasy. Maybe that's an Israeli fantasy or Israeli government fantasy. What are we doing here? That is clearly violating the America First ethos and has maybe, unlike Venezuela, Venezuela might have a significant chance of success. I don't know how significant it is. An Iran thing does not have a significant chance of successfully bringing about a tolerant, pro-Western American government. Let's be very realistic here. So cool your jets on this one is what I would say.
We have to go based off what's happened in the last few months, from the 12-day war to Hegseth recently saying Iran had their chance, and then saying that every adversary of the U.S. should, quote, remain on notice because they'll get anybody back anywhere, anytime. He said that we will protect anytime, anywhere. How is it our job to protect the citizens over there, specifically if the government is doing what President Trump noted they've always done? And not to say that's right or wrong, but as we continue to be the world police and say, oh, we're going to send troops on the ground, we're going to put who we want in charge. I mean, we've tried that. It's almost like insanity when you try to do something over and over again and expect different results. And so we're just in this limbo of...
Right. Policing our own hemisphere is one thing. That is a ideology I can maybe grapple with or try to understand, but we can't just go back to the policing the world, Bush-era thing that Trump ran on repudiating and was successful electorally for that reason.
Now, healthcare premiums for millions are skyrocketing following the expiration of ACA subsidies. I'll have more on that in my lens. Stick around.